We're back with Jim Ashby here at the Monday Night Community Show. Jim, I know you wanted to talk about sparklers.
Yeah, I thought I'd just touch on sparklers briefly. Sparklers are something that are offered to children quite often. They're viewed as a more harmless firework, but they still burn fiercely, and they're not suitable for children under the age of 5. Just to bring it home, sparklers themselves, and this is quite interesting, they reach something in the region of 2,000 degrees C,
Right.
20 times the boiling point of water. So that really just shows just how hazardous these items are. But of course they're most popular with the youngsters. So just a little heads up on what you can do with your sparklers and how to keep your children safe and everybody safe in general, really. Make sure you're wearing gloves, preferably leather ones, especially the kiddies. Make sure they're wrapped up well. So a pair of gloves is a good idea. Get children to hold the sparkler at arm's length whilst it's being lit by an adult. And again, always make sure that an adult is lighting the sparkler and that the children are well supervised. Don't wave sparklers about near others, as they could cause accidental burns. Again, 2,000 degrees, that's a pretty hot item that you're waving around, so just be wary of where you're going to be waving your sparklers, especially if you're having a large gathering. Children could get a little bit carried away, so just a little bit of consideration on that. Obviously, again, don't let under 5s use sparklers, and don't hold a baby at the same time as holding a sparkler as well, just in case things get a little bit carried away and you try juggling one with the other. So just something to think about. What else? Well, maybe when the sparkler goes out, put it into the bucket of water that I mentioned earlier. It's always a good idea to have a large bucket to put your disposed sparklers into, and the disposed fireworks as well, and leave them there overnight as well. Always supervise children. Again, it's partly why I'm covering it, because it is a popular one with children, so make sure the children are supervised, and avoid dressing your children in loose clothing again, just in case that to prevent that accidental fire. Don't run around whilst holding sparklers. Stand still and just enjoy the sparklers, really. So a little bit of supervision with the children. Predominantly children are using sparklers, so just a little bit of consideration as well on how the children and where the children are going to be playing with the sparklers. I was shocked when I'd done a little bit of research to find that it was 2,000 degrees C. Doesn't look that hot, but if you think about it, it's a concentrated heat source, and they can have dire consequences with children running around. They think they're enjoying themselves, so supervision's really the key to when using your sparklers. A little bit of other statistic for you. With over 2008 and 2009, some 990 injuries occurred within the UK, with families having private parties, and under half of those, about half of those, were under 16s. So that's why we want to just make people aware that when they're having a fireworks party, sparklers, fireworks, bonfires, ensure that your children are well supervised, well tucked up, wearing some kind of tight clothing, pair of gloves, and make sure that they're supervised at all times, just to prevent that accidental injury at home during the bonfire period.
We are talking to Jim Ashby from the Sheppey Fire station here at BRFM 95.6. We're covering all the safety around bonfire night, which is shortly approaching.